What's good, YouTube? I know it's been a while. I'm back with another video and I've actually recorded a ton more content, so expect a lot more from me. Again, I want to dive into something I'm doing right now. I'm in the process of creating a full masterclass for how to do sales for your agency. You can see I'm mapping out part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I wanted to give a little bit of value for free for everyone that's watching on YouTube. So I'm going to give you today the 7 emotions that every single person needs to go through in order to make a decision on whether they want to work or sign a deal. The 7 emotions is a framework. I haven't done it myself. It's something that I truly believe in, that I've been reading and studying from other salespeople, but I have now tailored it to agencies and how you will apply it for when you're on sales calls with new potential clients. So basically the framework really goes over the 7 beliefs. The number one thing you will go through is pain. Obviously, when you talk to someone, there needs to be some kind of pain for them to work with you. It might be specific for e-com brands that their ROAS is really low, or they're unprofitable, or they're very stressed. Whatever it might be, you always need to uncover pain points or problems. If you cannot establish what the real problem is or what the real pain is, then you're never going to get the sale. Now, you can just uncover a problem like, oh, we have low ROAS, I'm not happy with that. But that is unlikely to get you the sale. What you really need to do is uncover what's behind that pain. So if you say low ROAS, understand why that is a huge issue for them right now. You know, are they unprofitable? Are they bleeding money? How much runway do they have left before they go bankrupt? And specifically also the reasons why they might have low ROAS. So for example, if you're an agency that does conversion rate optimization, you might be thinking, okay, how can I turn that low ROAS into something that we have solved time and time again? So you want to create this pain gap as well. You really want to show them how you have the ability to understand their problem, maybe even widen the gap. So for example, if they just say they have really low ROAS, what you might say is, well, that seems unprofitable. Are you profitable on your ads? Or you might say, well, how long do you have left before you go out of business? Or what does that mean to your bottom line? So we are widening that gap, and that's really important. So that's number one. Number 2 is doubt. A lot of people will have doubt, and different types of doubts. It could be that they have doubt that you are a good partner for them. They don't believe that you can actually do the work. So they can have a doubt as it relates to your skill set or your ability to deliver on what you say. That's doubt number 1. They might also have doubt about whether they even need an agency. So they might think they can DIY it and do it themselves. This is a really common doubt that often you will end up not getting the sale because they are in DIY mode. And when you say it's $8,000 a month to work with you, they're thinking, well, I could hire someone, or I could, you know, every 8,000 additionally per month for myself if I just DIY it. So it's extremely important to widen the gap and show why DIY is not going to get you the same results. And if you're not uncovering that, if you're not addressing it, that might be the reason why you're losing the sale. Now, one thing you can do here is often ask what their belief is. Why have you come here today, and so forth. You really want to understand whether, you know, they believe that they can do it themselves, or they believe that you cannot do it, or they're in doubt if you can do it. So you also want to understand if they're working with other agencies, or if they're interviewing other agencies. What's the situation here? So those things really need to be surfaced. Otherwise, you're really not going to get the sale. And I've even added in questions here like, have you ever tried running that ads before? What was the result? What would it cost you in terms of budget to keep figuring this out solo? How confident are you in your current strategy and scale, ability to scale to that desired goal, and so forth? And these are questions that are really important, and that's a way for you to also sow some doubt within them. So if they do believe that they can DIY it, you can ask questions like that. That really helps them to see that actually it does make sense. You're the best option. You definitely need to go over the cost of inaction as well. If you don't have that, I think there's no urgency at all. So every time we actually get on a call with a potential client and we don't address the cost of inaction, we often see that we're going to get ghosted. It's just sort of fizzles out. So the cost of inaction is really important. All the proposals we do, we then show the roadmap of how we're doing everything, how much revenue we believe we can generate, how much profit we can generate, and so forth. Because if you then reverse that, that's basically what they're missing out on if they don't work with us. So really do make sure that you address the cost of inaction in your proposals. It's really important. Then there's the desire. This is of course really, really important. It's self-explanatory. They must just believe that you are the best solution out there, and there's no other options. And if they don't believe that you are the best solution out there, they're just not going to want to work with you. So like the way we've done that a lot in the past is to widen the gap between current and future reality. So basically, you can do that by doing a roadmap of all the things you can do. You can show the revenue, the profit, but you can also show specifics, right? Like here's what we'll be building for you, whether it's creative stuff or whether it's stuff on the website. Widening the gap is showing them what they can have in their in the future reality, their dream state. And if you don't have that painted, they're just not going to feel the desire to work with you. So it's really, really important to build that. You can also build desire by, saying, well, if you do X, Y, Z, and you're more profitable in your ads, now what will that do to you? How is that going to affect your daily, lifestyle? If you're much more profitable, are you going to be less stressed? How will that impact others? Parts of the business? Now that you have more money, maybe you can do more product development and so forth and so forth. So creating desire is not just about showing that you are the number one choice, but it's also widening the gap and sort of creating and visualizing that desired reality to have in the future is absolutely key if you want to get the sale. Then there's money. Money is honestly the least important one of all the 7 emotions. The reason for that is that this is mostly a logistics questions, because they will always have the money to pay you essentially if they believe it's worth the investment. Now there can be some things where you have to say, well, I need to peel back a bit, I need to split the payment, or I need to start on a lower plan. But that is something that you can uncover once every objection has been met, right? So it's more like a condition thing, not really an objection. And you would always want to leave the money a little bit later once you've uncovered everything else, right? Because then the money thing can resolve itself, or it will become purely logistical, like, hey, I don't have the money, but can I split the payment, or can I find a way to work at a lower cost in the beginning and so forth. But it is something that needs to be addressed, and in every single call, especially the discovery call, we do need to understand where they're at right now. So I like to not ask about the money. I like to ask about their revenue, and I like to ask about profit levels, because if I don't understand anything at all about that, then I won't even know if they have the money to work with us, right? So this is really a clever way of sort of asking around the question, but still having the ability to understand if they can afford to work with you as well. Then it's going to be support and trust. Support is really important because they want to know, what stakeholders shall we work with as well. So I think it's really important that that you ask specifically who is going to be, involved in this decision making. That's really, really important. Like all the time when you're working B2B, there's going to be tons of people that will want to chime in on the decision. So it's really important that you ask who should be basically asked about this, who's making the final decision. So always go and do that on the first one. Then finally, we have trust building. This is really important as well. Obviously, trust is related to desire as well, but it must feel right for them when they're ready to work with you. They must know exactly what it is they're getting into. The best way to establish trust is also to show that you've done this repetitively in the past, that they can reach out to former clients, that there's testimonials, there's videos, and all those kind of things. It's really, really important that you have that trust. The way you can create trust is building creating audits, building a framework, a roadmap, having them talk to former clients, having them meet the entire team so there's no surprises, lower commitments, shorter agreements, and so forth. But the trust is really, really important. And the way we have sort of set it up for us is that we must be unique. So we create a proposal that is unique. No one has ever done it before. Proven means that we will show we have done it so many times before. And then credible is obviously, you know, our clients and testimonials that we can show forth to them. And of course, we show that our method is different and unique in a certain way, that this proves that it's different from all these other things that tried in the past. And if you don't have that, we're just not going to make the sale. So anyway, this emotions framework is really powerful. If you sort of say like, that's what I need to overcome in every call, if I go through all these things and I effectively solve them and address them, then you're going to 3x your sales instantly, because this is what sales is. This is what sales boils down to, essentially. It's always going to follow these points, and if you address them, you're basically just going to close way more clients. So anyway, I hope this was useful. Take this and start implementing it in your sales cycle, and watch out for my full framework, my full masterclass that's coming soon. It's going to be available as a standalone product that you can buy, and secondly, it's also going to be available in my full course or in my mentorship. You can find the links below for any of that. Talk soon.